Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your host, Jayzon, and we are finally ready to go. And I'm sorry for the late start, but we've got both our teams in here, and I'm also joined by Dorshi, who's going to be co-casting with me today. Hello, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Bob.
Bob, it is. I like it. I'm a fan. All right, so we are here tonight for a semifinal match for the C division. It looks like we've got everybody in lobby except for you, Dorshi. I gotta grab your. There we go. I got your BattleNet ready to go, and as soon as we get you in here, I think we're gonna be good to go.
All right, I accepted your request.
All right, so let's get you in here, and I think. Let me just check with both the teams and make sure we're all ready to go, and that should pretty much make it happen.
All right, so to start off, it looks like we're on Brax's holdout. Who had the map choice?
That would be Reborn Knights Black, who had the map choice first, and so Durotan's Couch is going to be the team on the right, is going to be the red team for this matchup, and wait, we are not doing map history or match history. I don't think that's a thing. But anyway, so yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to go. Oh, you know what I have to do? I have to unmute. Boy, I'm really far behind tonight, Dorshi. But how are you doing?
I just got crushed. We were doing a Learning 5. It's the new program that they're doing. I think it's big in League, but a lot of people can sign up to create even level teams, and then they get coaches, and then they coach them up. Tonight was the first show match, and I actually put together my own team after I didn't get picked for a team, and we did a show match against their silvers, and we got run off the field.
Huh? Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, so put me in a good mood. I'll tell you that. No, I'm happy. I love playing HOTS, and I think I'm going to be excited watching this playoff game.
Yeah. Oh, I see what's going on. We've got Crafty and Egg Roll on the wrong team. There we go. All right, I think we've got it all sorted out. They even did the portrait synergy for me. I don't know. All right.
Portrait synergy. I gotta check this out here.
Yeah.
Nice. Both teams, so neither team gets the edge in portrait synergy.
Nope.
That of course means that the edge will go to those who take it the next level and go with the mount synergy.
Take it to the next level. What about the Skinergy?
Yeah, Skinergy's nice. When you're willing to sacrifice the best pick in order to get a hero that either matches your theme or your skin tint, that means success. Or you have OCD, one of those two.
All right. It looks like both teams are ready. We're certainly forcing around enough. So here we go. Game number 1 in this best of 3 series. We are going to Brax's holdout here for the semifinal match. Reborn Knights Black, Durotan's Couch, Dorshi joining us for the special duo cast. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right, so right away on Brax's holdout, 2-lane map. Gotta make sure that your team is capable to be able to have some point presence to capture these beacons and get yourself these Zerg waves. And definitely, in my opinion, Dorshi, one of the most snowbally maps in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, it can certainly be that way. And usually you want to prioritize, like I said, typically do a rotation, or the laning setup is you have a solid solo laner on top, and then a 4-man on bottom. And like I said, you're looking for healers that are more in the sustain categories, because the longer that you can stay in the lane, the more you can get the push and control those points.
Yeah, sustain is always a really big deal here. The more often you have to go back and get your little do-over for getting health and mana, or if you lose a hero, it can really devastate your ability to stay in lane, to continue to get that soak, and continue to contest these points.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other big factors that a lot of people overlook here on Braxis are the globe generators in both the top and bottom. So we'll often see heroes that are picked up that have those really strong globe talents, and we'll see people try to cheese and take advantage of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But global's also a high priority, but right out the bat, we're going to see Anubarak and Tassadar banned. So not your standard bans. These two teams have faced each other before, and so I would expect them to have a little bit of pre-knowledge about what each other like to play, and to pre-scout it a bit for this one.
Malthael first pick. Is Malthael a solo laner now? Would that be something you would see on the top lane? Or does he have too many poor matchups up there?
I would say that Malthael is definitely one of the stronger solo laners in the game. He's got good sustainability in lane, and he also has the mobility to still be able to poke from ranged against a ranged solo laner such as Zagara, but then be able to close the gap. Or can do really well against a lot of these melee frontline type of solo laners like Sonya, especially if they have a higher health pool, to be able to really get that percentage-based damage advantage and be able to get a lot of self-sustain off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Chromie and Anna are going to be picked up here. So right away, Reborn Knights Black kind of showing their hands a little bit, not feeling the need to hide their strategy. Chromie, who is amazing in the sustained damage department, can poke out really well, and a little bit easier to predict where the best place to throw Chromie's spells are. You just put them right on the beacon point.
Exactly, yeah. You can make it really punishing to stand on that point. Looks like we have the double support meta has seeped its way into Division 3 of Nexus Gaming Series. I haven't seen too many of the other games, but we do have the Rhaegar and the Tyrande pickup. And those are, Rhaegar is probably the best solo healer left in the game right now. And then, like I said, Tyrande is really a ranged damage dealer with a little bit of healing to go along with it.
I agree with you. I think if Blizzard was going to apply multi-class to a few more heroes in the game, Tyrande would have to be the first one up for grabs, because she can be played as a substitute for your ranged carry. Especially late game when she starts to build up some of these early quest talents and really start to get rolling on the damage that she can get from either the extra stun damage or the owl build that we've seen be very common. But she's good sustain in lane. She doesn't have very good wave clear though. That's going to be the biggest weakness that Tyrande brings to the comp for the side of Durotan's Couch.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that Diablo ban. That might actually be a Chromie protection thing. The Q into the body slam back into the team. Obviously, if the Chromie even takes a step out of line, that's a problem. The one thing that I don't see banned or picked up yet at this point, and if you've played in the Hero League, you'd probably be amazed too, but that's Garrosh. He is still on the board.
Yeah, Garrosh is something that Durotan's Couch is not afraid of when they have Malthael on their side. So I wouldn't expect them to ban that here. But I do agree with you. It could be a scary combination with what Durotan's Couch has. So I'm a little surprised to see the ban out from Reborn Knights Black of the Diablo rather than that Garrosh. When you're standing on either of these beacon points, Garrosh can pull you and then throw you into the enemy tower zone. So it's really scary on this map. They will indeed ban the Muradin. We'll have to see if maybe that's what they're going for at the end here, or might Reborn Knights Black be thinking about taking Garrosh?
But the pull into the team and then Tyrande putting her mark on it is terrifying as well.
Yes, the CC follow-up, not quite. It is just the Tyrande so far, but they've still got 2 picks, and there is the Garrosh. So Reborn Knights Black had a plan all night long here for the Garrosh. And they'll also go with the Greymane, who is amazing follow-up and complements the Chromie very well. At the end of the day, Chromie can poke and poke and poke for days, but is not very good at getting the final hits, you know, the cleanup. So need somebody that can dive in and get those last hits, and Greymane's really your man for that.
And it doesn't look like they have a strong solo laner yet for Reborn Knights, unless they're going to stick Greymane up against the Maltheo.
I wouldn't expect that, but I would expect a team to wait to pick it last. A lot of times, whoever ends up with the advantage in the solo lane is the one who decides to be patient and save it for that last pick, because they can counter what the other solo laner is. Right now, I would expect it to be Malthale, but if Durotan's Couch wants to make adjustments, wow, the choke call. But if they want to make adjustments, they can by going ahead and, you know, picking up something else that's better for the solo lane. But instead here, they're just going to go straight to the Cho'Gall, and Malthale will probably be that solo laner. Very interesting decision, though. The Cho'Gall into Greymane, who has the ability to have Cursed Bullet here. Garrosh, who has the ability to CC and, you know, throw Cho'Gall around. And
just put him to sleep.
Anna to put him to sleep. So I feel like RKB has what they need to be able to deal with the Cho'Gall, but Durotan's Couch is going to go into it anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like the landing assignments are going to be Greymane versus Maltheo. You'd expect. Otherwise, Reborn Knights may go a different route. Instead of doing the standard 1-4, maybe they'll do a 3-2, or maybe they'll have a more rotation base, which is kind of an unorthodox way to play the map.
Yeah, for the first 10 levels, Greymane doesn't really get all that much advantage onto the Cho'Gall. It's really, once he gets Cursed Bullet at 10, that you start to actually see that advantage come in. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go more that route of that 2-3. We've seen that be a little bit common on Braxis lately. You know, the standard is still definitely the 1-4, but we've seen more and more teams doing this 2-3 split if they don't feel like they can win, or at least rotating people regularly to try and get the advantage.
And maybe they'll do the rotation because they picked up Lucio, which means that their rotations would be sped up in that case.
Yeah, good old speed boost from the Lucio. Both teams going with that oh-so-popular double support meta. And Lucio also getting some nice percentage-based healing later in the game at 16. That could also be a factor here, especially with that Garrosh. But we are loading in. Braxis Holdout. Going to be the site of our first match in this best-of-3 series. Introducing first on the left, Reborn Knights Black. Crafty Devil is going to be on Greymane. Subway Slayer will be on the Lucio. Z-Doc is going to be playing Anna. Mr. Conductor is going to be on the Garrosh. And the Pie Maker is going to be playing Chromie.
And for Durotan's Couch, on the Cho we have Captain Wedge. On the Gall we have A-Fish. Rhaegar is going to be played by Solm. Tyrande is played by Wildcard. And Malthael is probably played by my favorite name here, the Big Egg Roll.
And now I'm hungry for Chinese. Gosh darn it. But either way, we are seeing that 2-3 split that you were talking about. And all of a sudden, it is going to be a little bit imbalanced here in the bot lane. But we'll have to see if Reborn Knights Black can get enough advantage in the top to make up for it.
See, I'm going through, don't really see anything too outrageous with the opening. Greymane's doing this standard Q build. I have no idea what the standard build for Cho'Gall is. Rhaegar's going with Lightning Bomb, and of course, Tyrande's going with their stacking quest, and she's already up to 3.
But right off the bat, we are going to see Durotan's Couch making the adjustment. They're going to send Tyrande to the top to be able to help Malthael in that 2v2. And now it's going to be an even 3v3 in the bot. Surprised to see Durotan's Couch being a little bit passive here with their Cho'Gall. He's still at full health. Rhaegar's sitting on full mana. I gotta say, I'd like to see them getting a little bit more aggressive with the early game strong Cho'Gall.
And for those of you, I'm watching the top lane because I like the solo lane matchup. Big Egg Roll almost got beat up on the Worgen, Crafty Devil, and barely made it out surviving. And this is an interesting.
Ooh!
Since Sharonda goes down, they've already knocked out one of the towers, and the sidewall there. So there is no safety for the top lane. I'm actually a little surprised that they decided to go send 2 people up top, because that's obviously what these guys were planning. The other alternative to that would be to continue pushing the 4 on bottom, and then try to trade damage. Right?
Yeah, either way, Durotan's couch is going to have to do something, because right now they aren't really coming up with any sort of strategy that has a chance to work. They are going to actually rotate up 3 to the top, so I do like this call. Cho'Gall is going to have to just hold on himself here. They'll take control of the top beacon and stop the progress at 64% and give themselves a little bit of time to breathe and reset here.
So Toronto's working her way back down.
Yeah, right now it does look like it's evening up a little bit more in the top, but we are also starting to see a bit of an advantage coming in the bot lane for Reborn Knights Black. They've been able to push the lane back a little bit, get a little bit of damage out on the tower, and for right now, pretty much will end up in a stalemate, but a slight XP lead. But in the top lane, big egg roll, getting rolled himself here in the top lane by Crafty Devil and Subway Slayer. And they will recapture this, and this very well could spell the Zerg wave coming in here for Reborn Knights Black, 100-0.
Yep, and they've already taken down the entire front wall and the well up on top. So it's going to become even harder for them to sustain when they're trying to defend this. They might lose this fort too on this first wave.
I wouldn't be surprised at all to see the fort fall down.
Oh yeah, the fort's gone.
Yeah, here comes the Zerg wave. The Banelings are just going to run right through that, and all of a sudden we are going to see 4 members rotating to the top here for Reborn Knights Black. They're looking to get even more off of this one, Dorshi.
And they already have the 6th. Oh no, they just popped the level advantage right there, the tier advantage. They might get part of this front wall down too.
Yeah, they do start working on that front wall, and there's really just not a whole lot that Durotan's couch can do. They don't have very good wave clear overall. The Rhaegar, one of the only heroes that has semi-decent wave clear, but when you're talking about wave clear in defense, it's very dangerous for the Rhaegar to step up there and really take advantage out of that Lightning Bond talent at 1.
Yeah, and one of the things about Cho'Gall is, with his scaling, if he gets behind, he's not going to be able to output the amount of damage that he needs to do. And it makes it even, as you said, a snowballing map, even more snowballing.
Who designed this ramshackle facility?
Yeah, for right now, everything is coming up good for Reborn Knights Black. They are going to start rotating through. They get the top fort and the tower and the cannons off of the front wall. Now they'll start rotating through and working on camps.
Hell yeah!
Both teams going to go ahead and mirror capturing their own camps here. We do see Cho'Gall kind of rolling through, seeing what he can scout out for his team here, but now just kind of a lull phase for both of these teams. They can take a breath and get ready for the next phase.
But even in the lull phase, they're getting structure damage down in the bottom lane. The Cho'Gall looks like he is rotating down, but I have no doubt they'll escape fairly easily with that Lucio right there. To amp it up. Yep. The front wall is down on the bottom lane. And right now it looks like there's no structure damage on either side on the Reborn Knight side.
Yeah, for right now, they definitely have the structure advantage. And you start to look at the XP. You can see it's about a half level away from level 10 here for Reborn Knights Black. And any time now, we're going to hear the toll for those beacons becoming active. They're going to have level 10 just in time for this. And it is a long way, still over 2 levels before Durotan's couch is going to get those ultimates.
Yeah, and then you're kind of in the catch-22 where you can't fight because you're down. But if you don't fight, you're going to get snowballed even harder. I mean, right now they should be looking to get a fight in this brief window before 10, but Reborn Knights doesn't even have to take that fight, even if they were trying to push it. They could just back out and wait.
Retain control of those beacons. We don't want to face
Yeah, so right now they will indeed do that in the bottom lane. They're going to go ahead and back up for the moment and just let Cho'Gall kind of own that part. But look in the top lane, they have captured the beacon and they are starting to push forward with this camp. Now it's kind of their game to dictate at this point what exactly they want to do. If they want, they can push this into the front wall and continue to get keep damage, or they can rotate down to the bot and try and work on the Zerg wave. They've still got over a full level until Durotan's Couch gets those ultimates to really be able to contest them.
Let's see. I'm going to check on the 10s. Did we get any fun 10s? Slowing Sands. Nano Boost for Anna. Warlord's Challenge. Sound Bearer. Yeah, so it's all pretty standard. Heroics coming out from the side of Reborn Knights.
So now we're going to see the 4-man commitment here in the bot. 4v3 situation with that camp still pushing.
Oh,
we'll also see Rhaegar get tossed. He's going to get hit by the time trap. And Rhaegar is going to go down, and that is the third death here that has been caused by Reborn Knights Black. They are able to pick up that kill. They will be able to get about half the damage out on the keep, and now they're going to go ahead and back up and heal up a little bit.
Or maybe they'll just go back in.
Maybe they'll just go right back in after Big Egg Roll. Force him back. And the ammo's completely gone here on the top keep, and that's going to be it. First keep of the game going over to Reborn Knights Black at the 8.5 minute mark. And level 10, but level 10s are in for Durotan's Couch.
Yeah. Now what they're going to need to do is they're going to have to pick a fight right now. So far, let's see, we've got Shadow Bolt Volley from Gaul, Upheaval from Cho, Ancestral, Tormented Souls, and Tyrande has not picked hers yet.
Tyrande holding that for the moment. They will get a little bit of cast done, 18% for Reborn Knights Black after capturing that bottom one, but Durotan's Couch will rotate. Oh, but Cho'Gall is going to fall here to a nice rotation there by Reborn Knights Black.
Cho'Gall got thrown, slept, and then stunned to death. And
yeah, the displacement is really strong on the side of Reborn Knights Black this game.
Yes. Oh, and they're going to take boss, too. All right.
Yeah, Cho'Gall down. Really the only threat that Durotan's Couch has. And for now, they will be able to pick up that boss and the Zerg wave uncontested here. And this is a scary moment for the side of Durotan's Couch.
Looks like Durotan's going to try desperately. Nope, they weren't in time.
Just barely.
They made a sprint up there to try to do it, but you know the bad news is that it's coming straight through the top lane, where they have no keep.
Yeah, the boss going through the bottom here as well, and the Zerg wave plus boss plus 13. Reborn Knights Black have put together a really nice assault. Let's see what they do with it here, Dorshi. Very early Ancestral coming out from Solm. And that hurts. No Ancestral.
There it is. Okay. But Malthael got tossed into the back line. And there goes Rhaegar 2.
Upheaval, not very effective here from Cho'Gall. Just kind of shrugged that off. Tossed Rhaegar in. Took Malthael while they were at it. And now Cho'Gall is going to be falling down as well. They have taken out quite a lot of the Zerg wave and the boss in this charge, but right now it's just Tyrande left to defend. The last keep for the side of Durotan's Couch will fall, and that could spell game here with a 3-point lead. Reborn Knights Black is thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, that Upheaval is definitely a win more talent, and you do not want to be pulling a team that's 3 levels ahead of you into the middle of your team.
Yeah, that can make your day a little bit rough, for sure. They will go ahead and back out here. The side of Reborn Knights Black playing this very cautiously. Gonna position for some camps.
But I think that's smart, though. You don't want to push in, especially with the 4-level advantage and taking shots from the core. Every death, even if they traded 1 for 1 or 2 for 2, the advantage would be severely in the advantage of your match with the makeup mechanics on the experience. So you just back out, you go back, you do camps, you keep your lane pressure up, and then you maintain and you get the next objective phase with your tier to counter. I think that's smart.
Yeah, agreed. They're definitely playing this one smart. Level 16 right around the corner, so they're going to have another solid opportunity to be able to force here in about half a level. Until then, they go ahead and paint the map blue and wait for the next beacon phase to come up, and they'll get their fight in time.
And just for those of you who are following at home, Chromie is at 41 on their Sandblast quest, and Sharonda has 36 hits. I know you were waiting on the edge of your seat wanting to know about that.
Yeah, not very much progress for Anna's level 1 talent just yet, but there also hasn't been a ton of team fighting just yet this game.
Oh,
Cocktail is 1 away for Crafty Devil.
Shogal did get Gal got his bombs away quest done. But yeah, just a little update on the quests. Looks like they are coming in on the top here. I'm not sure. They're posturing pretty aggressively. I wonder if they're just, this looks like a gank squad. Bush party.
Yeah. Right now, I just think for Reborn Knights Black, it's all about just making sure that Durotan's Couch doesn't really have any avenues to safely rotate. They're forcing them to rotate around the long way and just waiting to see if anybody steps out and makes a mistake at this point.
Yep.
And to Durotan's Couch credit here, they are staying back, they are staying safe, but being pinned back here on Brax's holdout is a pretty rough place to have to play the game from.
I mean, they're at a point now where I think they're going to have to engage in a team fight down a tier level, or they're just going to lose when this beacon gets done.
Right away, the Cursed Bullet is going to land, and a ton of damage with the taunt coming out, and Malthael will fall, and instantly getting a nice pick there is Reborn Knights Black, and the side of Durotan's Couch is going to have to walk away, but the Zerg wave is coming in, both lanes are pushing in, and this may be the beginning of the end for Game 1 for Durotan's Couch.
I'm going to hop off, my batteries are broken.
Meanwhile, the side of Reborn Knights Black charging in through the top. And we do see that Malthael has returned, but the core already under assault. And here comes Reborn Knights Black in the top. The Zerg wave slowly making its way towards the core. And this is a lot to defend for Durotan's Couch. You got to think that this is a miracle moment if they're able to fend this off. The quest will be completed there for Crafty Devil, but the shields are gone off the core. The Zerg wave is on it. The upheaval will come in, but Cho'Gall is just getting chunked down. Eggroll gets tossed, gets an Ancestral that is going to be completely ineffective. Solm will be trying to go in. He's getting kind of low. Mr. Conductor getting low, but the core has fallen to 10% in the meantime. Crafty Devil in the back will be able to finish it off in Game 1. Convincing fashion. Going to go over to Reborn Knights Black.
Yeah, so that was a good game. That was certainly interesting. It was a bold move by Durotan's Couch to take the Cho'Gall without another main tank.
Yes, I think the meme phrase is bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, bold move, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them.
Yeah.
It works out for them by getting starting off in an 0-1. I will be honest, my team that I am in chair league with, we do a Cho'Gall a lot. But we usually have a bruiser. I guess Malthael's a bruiser, but we usually do like a Sonya or another tank to go with it. Just to give you a little bit more sustain, because Cho'Gall doesn't really have peel. The only person that Cho can really peel for is Gall. And so the rest of the team can get out of position, and you just don't have anyone to help do the normal tank activities.
All right, so I'm getting some feedback that the music is too high. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. I wasn't watching chat. Oh, the Coke. Oh, I guess Dorsey's a little bit low. Yeah, I'm hearing him all right, but I will go ahead and turn him up a bit.
Sorry, I can talk louder.
I think you're all right. I'm just going to turn the volume up a little bit, and we'll see how that works out for game number 2. But yeah, 10-0 victory here for Reborn Knights Black, and they're going to roll into game 2 with that 1-game advantage, and it will be the map pick for the side of Durotan's Couch, so we'll have to see if they can take us to a comfortable map and see if they can bring it back to a game 3.
Do you want to invite me to the lobby? Is it made yet?
Well, you know, I don't know. I'm going to have to reach out to both of these teams and see what is going on. Let's see. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, so they are. So, yeah, they are going to go ahead and take the map pick. Right, because they get to pick for game 2. After losing game 1, they get to pick which one they want. So, and they are going to take us to Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Tomb. I love that map.
Pretty classic. Pretty classic map. Definitely one of my favorites. Alright guys, so it'll take us just a minute to get this lobby rolling for you and get us on to game number 2. Let me get the teams invited in here real quick. We'll get our buddy Dorsey on in while we're at it.
Yes, I do need a new mic. Most of the time, I just try to get it a little closer to my face. But I'll try to speak up in case anyone can't hear me. Yes, put me on team 1. Put me in, coach. I'm ready.
Hashtag new mic Inc. It's nice to have a co-caster for once, buddy. I appreciate you being around. I'm sorry that I didn't have a little bit more time to be able to get a pretty picture or something of you to put up in the overlay. I was a little bit rushed getting off work at 7 with the match starting at 7. I was just a little bit under duress to get here on time.
No problem. I wouldn't want to, outshine the regular caster. Because once they see this face, they wouldn't want to watch you anymore.
That's I can't blame them really. I mean, but it is what it is. What can we say? Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We're going to be on to that game 2 real soon. We got both teams into the lobby now, and let me just make sure everybody's ready.
The priorities on Tomb of the Spider Queen are going to be different, significantly different on Brax's Holdout. Where Brax's Holdout is a 2-lane point control map, Tomb of the Spider Queen is a 3-lane map where the objective happens in the lane and there's actually no true objective phase. It's all about collecting those spider butts and then creating the opportunities and the space to get them turned in.
What mic am I using for casting? It's a Samsung mic. I don't remember the model. Ara. That answer will come to you in about 2 minutes when the delay is done. I think we are taking PPs. Okay, well.
Bio break.
All right. I personally prefer to give PPs, but... Okay. I wish we had a ready check in Heroes of the Storm like we do in WoW. Everybody can just click the button when they're ready. It's a feature they should add, I think. Alright. So it looks like one team is ready. And 2 teams are ready. So game number 2. We are headed into Tomb of the Spider Queen. Reborn Knights Black up 1-0 against Durotan's Couch. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tomb of the Spider Queen, where it's all about wave clear and the mercs don't matter. Unless you're talking about the boss. Then that matters a little bit, but...
Alright, so we got first ban, Anna. And are they on the same sides? So
they are on the same side. So Reborn Knights Black continues on the left, and Durotan's Couch will continue to be on the right. And the early Cho'Gall band coming out here from Durotan's Couch. Gosh, am I sure that they're on the same side? Judging from the bands, you would think that it's wrong. But Tassadar are going to be the first pick here for Reborn Knights Black. And actually, yeah, because Durotan's Couch picked the map. So yeah, it is. It's RKB on the right. Or on the left. Boy, am I confused. But no, it's RKB on the left. I'm 100% sure.
All right. So yeah, the Tassadar pick is interesting. It'll enable the hyper carry comp. So you'd expect to see a Vala, maybe another Greymane, another auto attack.
Now, I've seen Reborn Knights Black run a lot of different hyper carries. I do see them occasionally play with the Tracer. They could also definitely go Vala. I think Vala is definitely one of the Pie Maker's favorite heroes. And in general, it could even be Cassia. I mean, it could be a lot of different things, but you're right. The Tassadar definitely foreshadows that double support, hyper carry comp, and we'll have to see exactly how they want to shape that going into this first ban phase.
It's interesting that Durotan's Couch didn't take the opportunity to deny one of those picks, and they went with about the most bland combination of ETC and a Rhaegar. Solid tank, solid healer. It doesn't tip their hand to what they're doing with the draft, and maybe that's what they were going for, but it did allow Reborn Knights to get the hyper carry that we assumed they wanted in Vala.
Yeah, they picked that up, and then they're also going to pick up Morales, who's one of the strongest healers in the game right now. And, you know, if I had to pick one hero to be behind the hyper carry auto attack damage dealing Vala, that's probably Lieutenant Morales.
Yeah, especially because Vala, even though she has her E ability to give her a little bit of mobility and a little bit of escape, she's not the most mobile of characters, so she does benefit highly from the Morales and being able to benefit from the sustain healing, unlike, say, like a Tracer or a Genji, which is so highly mobile that they get in and out of her range.
So right away, we're going to see the Garrosh ban coming out from Durotan's Couch, the Respect ban coming out after that last one. I wouldn't want to deal with Garrosh either, but then again, I'm a little biased. I never want to deal with Garrosh.
Amen to that. And I'm in Silver League, so no one wants to deal
that
with
downtown
Garrosh.
Silver throw, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
The Cassia.
Yeah, everyone's out of position.
Yeah, the Cassia coming out here as the ban for Reborn Knights Black. One of the heroes that I thought they might play, but they're going to make sure that Durotan's Couch doesn't play it either. And we'll have to see a different carry from Durotan's Couch.
Yeah, I can see that if they're going with the hyper carry Vala. They want to avoid them getting damaged, their damage roll filled with someone who can also blind their hyper carry. So I can see that. I'm not exactly sure if it's necessarily the best ban, because there are other blinds available, especially with the new rework of Lily, if they go double support. I would like to see tank Lily, but nope, looks like they're going Lucio and KT.
Yeah, Durotan's Couch going to take a page out of RK Black's playbook here and go ahead and pick up the Lucio for that extra speed boost and extra rotatability here on a pretty small map, which is Tomb of the Spider Queen. Pretty easy to rotate between the lanes. And going to go with Kael'thas. You know, wave clear, definitely a high priority here on Tomb, and Kael'thas, one of the best wave clear heroes in the game.
Yep, and he also has very good abilities for denying turn-ins. I'm wondering whether they'll go Convection, I know it's relatively popular in the Hero League type setting, but in a competitive setting where you have shot callers and everyone's on comms and you can focus people down, that is a really risky strategy to go convection. So that'll be something I'll be looking for once the game gets started.
Yeah, it kind of depends on the opposing comp, I think, for a lot of people, whether they go convection, because that Mana Addict talent at 1 can be very good on this map when you're rotating around a lot and able to get a lot of those orbs to be able to charge it up quickly. And the eventual shield you get can be really good against divey heroes. Oh, like, like Greymane or Diablo or... So, I would expect Durotan's Couch to go more that route, but, we'll have to see what they decide to do here.
So Reborn's Night it was interesting because in the last game they banned the Diablo and picked the Garrosh, and in this case they're still prioritizing a tank that's got that displacement. So I'm wondering if since they've played Durotan's Couch before, I wonder if they know or they're aware of the mechanical skills of the other team, and they're prioritizing getting a character that can move them out of position and get them, in a spot where they're going to be vulnerable, where they can continue to win the team fights. Because it sure looked like that's what they were doing in Game 1.
Yeah, I would expect them to play the rotation game, but I don't want to give too much away of Reborn Knight Black's strategies, but because I've casted a few of their games recently, and I've known their team for quite a while. They do like to tend to do the power push in one lane, and they've definitely got the comp for it here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go that route. Tassadar is a hero that they can stick. They can either stick Tassadar or Greymane to double soak lanes and stick 4 in one lane to push really hard with the auto attacks from Vala and the extra sustain from Morales. So
yeah, that's actually a really good because the normal, if you watch a lot of the pros or the higher division levels, normally you'd see a 1-4 rotation, right? So you do a solo laner in the bottom, and then you have a 4-man rotation going on Tomb of the Spider Queen from mid-top, because top lane is a priority because it's the boss lane, and the boss lane does provide you with a win condition later on if you can push that lane down. So yeah, I would be interested to see a push, and if they're doing the push lane, I would assume they do it on the top lane, correct?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the priority lane here on Tomb of the Spider Queen, but we'll have to see. We saw they didn't do a standard strategy rotation in the last one, so we'll have to see if they do another one this one. But either way, we are loading in here to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 2 for this best of 3 series. Reborn Knights Black is going to be the team on the left, up 1-0 so far. Subway Slayer going to be on the Tassadar. The Pie Maker going to be on Vala. Mr. Conductor on the Diablo. Z-Doc is going to be on the Lieutenant Morales. And Crafty Devil is going to be playing Greymane.
And for Durotan's Couch, on the Lucio, we have Captain Wedge. My favorite big egg roll is playing ETC. Kale Faust is being played by Wild Card. Rhaegar is being played by Solm. And Nazeebo is played by A Fish.
Of all of the big egg rolls in the world, this one is my favorite. Playing ETC.
Man, look at all that. Oh, look at that. They have spray synergy. Look at Alarak is watching you.
Somehow, Alarak is in the game all of a sudden. Right away, we do see a lot of damage coming out onto the Pie Maker. Z-Doc could be able to heal that right up. Subway Slayer getting a little dangerous going in to grab those gems. But we'll be able to dimensional shift his way out of trouble. And it is going to be the standard 4-run rotations. I didn't give these teams enough credit. They're going to go with the standard strategy. And we're going to see them just contesting each other 4v4 here in the top and mid.
And it looks like early games, I enjoy the solo lane, so I'll keep an eye on there if you want to keep an eye in the middle. But it looks like early game, they've already forced Nazeebo to tap, and it looks like Greymane might have an advantage. So we'll have to see how that works as it scales up.
Yeah, definitely Nazeebo, a strong scaling hero here in Heroes of the Storm. In a perfect world, you'd like to be able to put Nazeebo with the rotation team to be able to get him extra stacks, but for now, they are going to have to put him in the bottom lane, and we're going to go ahead and have a pause. I'm going to go ahead and back out here while Mr. Conductor gets on back into the game. And we'll have a little bit of break to just kind of sit here and chit-chat. How you doing? How you doing, man?
I'm doing. I haven't seen what the rotations look like up on the top, but I am watching this Gray Man is bodying this Nazeebo. They've already got almost half the tower shots out. There's damage on the towers. And as far as Nazeebo's already had to tap. So definitely the early game on the solo lane is going over the side of Gray Man.
Oh, do I have to unpause? Oh.
Give us a countdown. 3.
Let's see. I don't know that I can do all. I'm not the I can't. But
and he left the game.
I don't know. We're gonna have to figure this one out, boys, because I'm not the referee. See, that's the thing, is I'm not sure if he can read that chat, or if it's just observer chat.
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with how these things work. And it looks like we had a second disconnect from Mr. Conductor. Well, I'll just chill out and wait a bit. It's all right. Oh man, I don't even have my sub hype wall.
Sub hype.
Sub hype.
All right, what we got? Let me check out chat. Okay, just curious, is the volume been better? But more would be awesome. Well, I'd like to hear myself talk too, so I can see why they would want to hear me talk.
Of course. Turn it up just a bit more. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so in case anyone's wondering, I've got the $12 mic that I picked up from Best Buy.
There you go. The Best Buy mic. MVP.
I spent too much on my computer, and my wife wouldn't let me pay any more for a microphone. I just checked over my shoulder to make sure she wasn't sitting in the other room when I said that out loud.
That's fair. Yeah, I actually have 2 mics. I have the one that extends from the headphones, but I discarded that one because I got like an actual, metal stand mic and everything. So it wasn't too bad. I've had some issues, some software issues with it, but hardware, I think it's a pretty good mic.
Mm.
Yeah. Ping. Oh, I can move. Okay, good to know. But we're just waiting on one of our heroes to reconnect in here. See if Mr. Conductor's coming back. Would hate to see them have to play with a bot Diablo. That would be a little bit devastating. All right, looks like everybody is ready to go, and we are going to be back.
Counting it down.
3, 2, 1, 100%. All right. Nailed it. All right. You're right. Crafty Devil is definitely getting the advantage so far down here in the bot lane. But, again, you would kind of expect that. Nazeebo's got, Lucio falling in the top lane. First blood going over to Reborn, a Knight's Black.
Oh, and, okay. I was going to say, it looked like they were going to do a rotation bot on Nazeebo, but I must have just... I might have misread that.
But yeah, anyway, you would expect Greymane to have the early advantage with Nazeebo being a better scaling hero. He's not as strong in the early game, but he does have pretty decent wave clear and poke damage. So, you can kind of expect him to get small advantages occasionally like what we're seeing for him now.
And KT did in fact go convection, and he's already over halfway stacked with 11.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, actually. 2 minutes into 2.5 minutes in, and there's even a few more coming in for the KT, and now that's going to be 14. So, pretty impressive early here. Reborn Knights Black might need to make a couple of adjustments here to make sure they're not giving that over for free. Because once it gets to 20, the earlier it gets to that 20, the worse that's going to be as the game goes along here.
But yeah, but I'm watching the bottom lane, like I said, and Greyman's actually doing a good job, even zoning the Zeebo out from damage. He let his wave, and this is one of those things you can do. He actually let the wave push out close to his own gate, and then he actually pushed Zeebo back to his own gate, so he was out of soaking range. It's one of those neat technical things that you like to see on the solo lane.
Very nice. And right now, he's definitely got the XP advantage. Actually, going to be Crafty Devil will turn around, be able to turn in here, which just means that Reborn Knights Black is going to be just 2 away. Meanwhile, over on the side of Durotan's couch, they actually only have 33 in the pocket, so pretty big gem advantage so far here for Reborn Knights Black.
And if they're playing, they may actually wait. It doesn't look like they're going to, but they could have actually waited on that turn-in until they got to their level 7 advantage and pushed with that. But as it is, it looks like the Web Weavers are going to be descending, and they're going to be on an even talent tier.
Yeah, I think the real game, though, for the XP advantage is in trying to get to 10. So if you're able to get that first one early and get some good tower damage out, it can be really helpful in trying to get to that level 10 first, which I think is 7 is a nice advantage, but it's not really a game-changing advantage like level 10 is.
Yeah. And if you look here during the defense, it looks like Crafty Devil on Greymane is getting some structural damage in mid. And my guess is once he gets that, he's going to rotate back down the bot to make sure all the lanes are soaked during this phase.
Yeah, right away, getting the front walls down in mid, bot, and top here is the side of Reborn Knights Black. They're getting some nice XP. They've got about a full level now on Durotan's couch, and most of that is in the stored XP in the towers, so it's something that Durotan's couch can recover from, but they're going to have to start getting some siege damage of their own. Right now, they don't seem in much of a position to do that, Dorsey.
Yeah, and it looks like when they had Greymane double soaked in mid and bot during that phase, it looks like Durotan's couch actually had to send Kale Thoth down to mid in order to soak, which allowed for that extra siege damage to be put up in the top lane.
Meanwhile, the side of Durotan's couch rotating to the bot. They're going after Crafty Devil. The slide will come in. He's caught in the wall. And that is going to be it for Crafty Devil here in the bottom lane. Greymane goes down, and the kill count will be evened out here by Durotan's couch at 1-1.
That was a nice rotation. That should give them the space to get their turn in. But it does look like they are going to attempt to deny that turn in.
Nice thing about the comp here for Reborn Knights Black is they have a lot of poke and denial potential here. Between the Psy Storm from Tassadar, the Cocktail, the different ranged abilities from Vala, Lieutenant Morales has the grenade. Even Diablo has Fire Stomp. So everybody has a ranged ability to be able to interrupt here on the turn-ins.
And I don't know if you noticed, but it looks like they're switching the solo lane. KT has finished his convection quest, and it looks like they've moved him down into the bottom lane, and now they're having the Zeebo go with the team to increase his stats. And it looks like they're... Oh, no. It's like Greymane is coming in. It's like they were going to do a rotation, but they didn't. So, all right, back to you.
Yeah, I really like that call from Durotan's couch. That's a really nice catch there, Dorsey. Now they've swapped it up here, and now they can start to get Nzebo those stacks for the later game, where the early game stacks for KT are a lot more influential. So I really like the shot calling coming out here from Durotan's couch in the second game.
Yeah, but their shot calling right now needs to retreat because, as the new reminder says, one team has a heroic tier advantage, and that team is Reborn Knights Black. It looks like they'll have that advantage for about about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So I'm interested to see what they'll do because it doesn't look like they have enough for a turn-in quite yet.
Yeah, so far they have been able to dump 13 into the pool. 88 sitting on the side of Durotan's couch. So Reborn Knights Black would love to be able to force a fight here and force Durotan's couch to drop some of those. But right now they're not sticking their nose out too far. But the side of Reborn Knights Black will go ahead and take the advantage to get a couple of gems put into the bank. And now level 10 has arrived for Durotan's couch.
Alright, so it looks like there's a fight going on in the middle lane.
Both these teams started to skirmish a little bit, poke back and forth, make sure they're keeping tabs on each other. But Ultimates have come in. Go for the throat coming in here from Crafty Devil. Along with the Stim Drone, the Tassadar Wall, APOC, and Rain of Vengeance. So lots of CC potential and a little bit of lockout potential.
And about the only thing that's not that's interesting coming out from Durotan's fight.
Lucio getting completely blown up here. Eggroll will get overpowered and taken down. And all of a sudden, Reborn Knights Black taking a 2 for nothing. And look at all the gems on the floor, Dorshi. That is devastating for the side of Durotan's couch.
That hurts. And I was going to say the only ultimate that doesn't necessarily fall under the typical is ETC went stage dive instead of mosh pit. And they may have just been afraid of, I guess it'd be just Rain of Vengeance, right? From Vala to cancel that. But to me, it seems like with the way these games, especially last game and the way these games are going, it seems like mosh pit would have been a better choice because they need to get unengaged and they need to get some sort of advantage. And I'm not sure if stage dive is going to be enough.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, my old tank friend and teammate Rabid Penguin used to play a lot of ETC, and he would always tell me that, we would always try to give him the argument that pretty much everybody on the other side had a mosh counter, and he would tell us that doesn't matter. A mosh pit is still an influential heroic that the enemy team has to play around, and it changes the way you play the game. It's just intimidating. Like right now, they rotate in and they would have to split, but with stage dive, they can stay stacked in a little bit. They can still continue to be in good healing range and stick together. So that mosh pit is just not a threat. I mean, Z-Doc does have the grenade that can interrupt it. Misconductor could do it with APOC if it's timed correctly. And then, of course, the Rain of Vengeance, like you said. But still a really good heroic.
Yeah, but you have Rhaegar who took cleanse at 6. So you just pre-cleanse, hit the mosh pit, and then you go.
Yep.
But anyway, they took stage dive. So, but everything else looks pretty standard. You got Amp It Up, Sand Barrier from Lucio, Phoenix from KT, Ancestral Healing, and Gargantuan from the Zebo. It looks like
we do have a couple members trying to rotate to the bot. We'll be cut off here by Reborn Knights Black, and with this 13 advantage, they're going to go ahead and rotate in and get a nice little steal onto this camp, trying to wall them out here, and it will indeed be a stolen camp for Reborn Knights Black. They've got that 13. They'll go ahead and roll back, and once again, the side of Durotan's couch in this game has been really put on the back foot and pushed around here, bullied by Reborn Knights Black.
Looks like with that 13 advantage, they're coming up and looking to get some siege damage in.
They'll get a little damage done on the bottom lane front tower. KT, meanwhile, rotating to the mid. I'll start working on this this big wave pushing into the mid, and we'll start to see the teams rotating around a bit. 13 right around the corner. I don't know, this Durotan's couch really needs to try to score a turn in here. They've got the gems, but they've been kind of hesitant to walk in towards these turn-in locations and force a fight.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any advantage right now is with the lanes being kind of pushed out the way they are, it's going to be easier for them to get the soak that they need in order to get to 13. And I would think that, is there a fight going on without the ETC? But the ETC has stage dive, so ETC is really there.
Yeah, he can come in at any time. He is split soaking and pushing things back, but for now, the side of Durotan's couch will back up and live to fight another day. up here in the top, rotating around to mid, trying to look for an opening, but really nice defensive posturing here from Reborn Knights Black. They are in total control on this map, and they are not giving Durotan's Couch an inch.
Yeah, but I mean, even though Reborn Knights has the advantage now, they have enough coins on Durotan's Couch that if they win a team fight, they could easily get a back-to-back Web Weaver phases. So that's going to be something that's on their mind as they're posturing up there.
I totally agree. They also, again, they have a lot of that stored XP still in the structures for Reborn Knights Black, so they can easily close this level gap if they are able to score a turn in. Big egg roll will get another 18 in the bottom.
Turn it down on the bottom. Yep.
Meanwhile, Reborn Knights Black is still a long way from their next turn in.
Yep.
So they're gonna have to defend for quite a while here.
Nazeebo's at 161, so he's well on his way to becoming win the game at level 20 if they can get there. But he should easily have his 175 stacks that he needs. But yeah, they're doing a really good job doing the defense on the turn in right now. And at some point, they're just going to have to. I mean, if they're going to want to get the turn in, they're going to need to do it now because they're still a full level down in experience. And the last thing you want to do is get that turn in when you're down a talent share.
Man, only half a level away here from level 16 is Reborn Knights Black.
Oh, looks like they got it turned in on the bottom while I was busy watching the Nazeebo top.
Team Captain Wedge going to come in, sneak in that turn in on the fast-feeded Lucio here.
All right,
We'll be able to score it here. Still about half level for Reborn Knights Black to have 16, so this is the time for Durotan's Couch to force. Let's see what they do with it here.
Yeah, and this Web Weaver phase, man, try saying that 5 times fast. This phase is actually all about just getting their lanes depushed, and maybe getting, if they get a fort out of it, I would say that they're actually doing fairly well out of this push, as far back as those Web Weavers were. Because as you know, we got flipped over the wall. Nice cleanse and ancestral from Rhaegar, and Tassadar goes down.
Tassadar falling, ton of damage coming out on to Crafty Devil and Mr. Conductor. Z-Doc also kind of low, and the side of Reborn Knights Black having to step back to the strong push into the mid. All the while, like you said, the lanes have pushed out here, and now the top and bottom Web Weavers are getting a ton of advantage.
Slide.
Egg roll sliding in onto Z-Doc and Mr. Conductor, but meanwhile, the rest of the team being zoned out. Egg roll will fall, and Lucio will fall as well. So Reborn Knights Black fighting back, getting a couple picks of their own, pushing back right before the 16 comes up here. And that's also going to leave a few gems on the floor for the side of Durotan's Couch.
Yeah, but they still have 88, and they got a fort, which caught them up on the 16 that happened during the fight. So they're going to have enough for the back-to-back turn-in phase. But it does look like Reborn Knights also has the ability for a turn-in here. So it'll be interesting to see whether they're going to push that right away and try to get that in while Lucio and ETC are down. And it does look like they got that in.
Yeah, Reborn Knights Black turning right around. The quick rotation to turn in the top lane. And now we are going to see the Web Weavers coming down. Both teams have 16. But the side of Reborn Knights Black already pushing out the mid, looking to put some serious pressure in towards this mid keep.
Yeah, and they did a really smart job there because even though their lanes were depushed from that last phase, they focused that middle lane to get that Web Weaver up as fast as possible. So now they can work on getting siege damage in the middle. Now, for Durotan's Couch, the advantage is because the other lanes were pushed so far back, you don't really need to prioritize defending those two lanes because they'll lose quite a bit of their health just by having to walk so far in the lane and deal with other minions.
Meanwhile, the Pie Maker getting caught out a little bit, gets hit by the slide and the face melt. Will be able to skirt around the zombie wall, though, to get out. Crafty Devil getting very low as Phoenix comes out. The bomb is being spread. Subway Slayer getting so low here,
nice.
But it will be the Pie Maker that falls first. And the chase is on. Captain Wedge speeding up his team. Mr. Conductor is very low. He is on the run, but eventually going to be tracked down here by by the members of Durotan's Couch. And so when all is said and done, that'll be a 2-for-0 here for Durotan's Couch. With signs of life coming out and a ton of gems on the floor for Reborn Knights Black.
And more importantly, Diablo, who's the only front line for the other team, just lost his soul. He is back up with only the 3-second death timer, but he is going to lose a lot of his tankiness. So until he's able to reaccumulate those, we might see him get some more deaths. Yeah, it looks like they are trying to force a push in or try to force a turn in here, but Reborn Knights do respond well and prevent that from happening.
Yeah, and it's going to be a while until the side of Reborn Knights Black can get, a significant amount of souls back for Diablo. These lanes are pushed really far out, and Durotan's Couch will be able to push these lanes back and really catch up on XP. They're only about a half level behind right now, and look at the forts. 2 of these forts are so close to death. They are pretty much caught up on XP at this point as both teams start to head in towards 20.
Yeah, now we'll have to see. There should be a slight delay, probably about a minute or maybe a minute and a half, where Reborn Knights will have 20 before their opponents. So they really need to take advantage of that because Nazebo's already finished his quest. He's already at 231 stacks. So once he hits 20, that's going to be a pretty scary proposition. But Red does get a turn in here. So we should expect them to most likely at least get those 2 forts. I don't know if they're going to get any pressure or any siege damage from the one in the bottom, because it does have quite a bit of ways to go. Looks like they're all posturing up over this middle fort here.
Yeah, they should be able to get this pretty quickly. It'll give them a nice XP boost, and now it's pretty much even. The Web Weaver in top heading right in towards that top fort, which will give them even more experience here. And that bottom Web Weaver, it's at this point it's most of the way through the lane, so I can expect it to get some damage.
Diablo just died. Look at that. That was a great combination, but you got a little far forward. Eggroll went through, got the stun, got the knockback, and that was it. Without those souls, he just doesn't have the amount of tankiness. He can't take the amount of damage that he needs to do in order to protect this team of 4 ranged heroes, essentially.
I caught out a little bit there. The Web Weaver will go down in the mid, but the front wall is also down for the keep here. The Piemaker will receive the stim drone, but the side of Durotan's Couch saying no thank you. Even with the level 20s, they will back out with that stim drone on the other side. And I like that call.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that they backed out, but they have enough for another turn-in if they really wanted to force this with Diablo down. But it looks like they might be sieging up here. They might be going in to take this keep before doing the turn-in. But, looks like they're going back. Looks like they're going to go get the turn-in now.
Look at a nice amount of poke on it. And that top lane is the lane of choice. You also notice that in the bottom lane, the keep went down to that Web Weaver without any help from Durotan's Couch members here. And now the turn-in will be achieved, so another set of Web Weavers going to be coming down. And all of a sudden, Reborn Knights Black are the ones that are definitely on the back foot, though they have gotten level 20 here.
Oh, look at that. KT ripping damage through the middle.
That is a ton of damage. 3-man hit onto that Flame Strike. And that hurts.
Their posture in bottom here because the keep's out. This is a great move. By coming down there, that's going to allow free push from the other Web Weavers in the other lanes. So even if they don't push through here and they don't get core damage, those 2 Web Weavers should get significant siege damage on the 2 remaining keeps.
Yeah, right away, Mr. Conductor charging in. They're trying to get after the KT. APOC will be popped here, but ultimately it's not going to be able to displace them very much. Sound Barrier comes down, and all of a sudden Captain Wedge is hitting the go button, and they are going in here onto Reborn Knights Black. Reborn Knights Black on the retreat will have to back up. They are going to try and turn around, 2-man stun, and all of a sudden the damage is coming out from both teams, but a lot more sustainability.
And then it was Tassler killed by a KT.
Huge flame strike to be able to take out Tassadar. Morales will go down. Vala will fall. And that is going to be it. Durotan's Couch bringing it back here in game number 2, forcing game 3. And we've got a series.
Wow, that was good. Especially, I mean, to me, it kind of like it shows me what Durotan's Couch can do when they pick a real comp instead of Shogal. No, I think that they had definitely had a comp that they had in mind when they picked this map. They did a great job, like you said, with the shot calling by having the Zebo go solo lane and having KT rotate with the team until he got his stacks and then switching them. Because Nazebo had more than enough stacks when it came time for him to hit his power spike at level 20. KT had his convection stacks. And even though they were behind in XP for most of the game, they were able they didn't let themselves get snowballed. They had solid defenses. And then when the time came, they were able to push, they were able to get through, and because they had everything stacked, their damage that came out was just incredible.
Just a ridiculous amount of damage coming out from Kael'thas. 80,000 hero damage coming out. Nazebo, with the good late game ability here, getting to level 20, didn't really get a whole lot of time after that level 20 had been achieved, and he did have a little bit more siege damage, but only 43k in the hero damage department after that point. And I don't know, you got to give some serious props here. Let's see.
Well, that just makes me excited for game 3.
Okay, yeah, let's see.
So in this one, does the loser get map pick? Is that how it works? Loser gets map pick?
Yes, they get to choose. And so we're going to change it real quick. Oh, it was best match for me, I see. So yeah, we'll do the central. Okay. All right. So we are going to go on to game number 3. It'll be just a couple minutes for us to set that up. But yeah, you know, you got to give a lot of credit here to Durotan's Couch. They were getting bullied around in that second game, you know, for a good portion of it. But they are able to come back and get that big win with their late game comp. And all right, so they are going to take first pick here is the side of Reborn Knights Black. So it's going to be map pick coming up here from Durotan's Couch.
And we touched on ETC's choice of an ultimate. I don't recall seeing him use it once. Did you?
I don't recall a significant advantage gained from it being ever used. You know, it is a pseudo global, but Tomb of the Spider Queen is a very small map, and ETC doesn't have, you know, a whole lot of wave clear. So it's not like a Brightwing where you send them to the outer lane and they can compete as pretty much, you know, as good as any solo laner in the game and then TP down. You know, it's kind of a different ball game for ETC, who's just there to soak.
There were a couple of times where they did have him break out when they were still trying to catch up in advantage.
Yes, the XP advantage
bottom
for sure.
lane. Yeah, and they had him down in the solo lane on the bottom. Because I think I made the comment, I'm like, oh, it looks like they're getting ready to a fight, and they're not all there. And I'm like, oh yeah, they have ETC, they have stage step. So had Reborn Knights Black engaged on them, he could have been there. So I guess they did have some value in it in that manner.
Yep.
Yeah, Chad is confirming that he didn't stage dive all game.
Yes.
A-Boat's number 1 in XP and number 1 in my heart. Nice. It's rooting for A-Fish.
Well, we've got a break, and so of course I'm going to be joined by a cat. You know, that's kind of how it goes on my stream. she realized she was on stream and then ran. That's how it is. But yeah, it looks like we're gonna have just a little bit of a break for both of these teams. Well deserved going into this game 3. That'll be just a few minutes before we get this one rolling for you guys. Thanks for staying up late, nice and late with us tonight. Winner of this match will be able to go on to the C Division Finals to face All for Waifu. They looked pretty impressive in their semi-match on Sunday. I casted for that one on Sunday morning, and they had a nice 2-0 victory that they looked really dominant for. I did interview them afterwards, and they said that they would rather face Durotan's couch, so I'm sure they are keeping an eye on this match and pretty happy with that Game 2 result.
Now, did they do a full round robin in Nexus Gaming Series? So just so you guys know, I participated in Chair League. I created my own team for one season and then disbanded it because we were awful. And then I am a sub on a team in Chair League. So this is really my first experience with the Nexus Gaming Series. So from my understanding on the structure, did they do a full round robin and then seed the playoffs from there?
I believe they did do that. I'm not 100% familiar with the regular season, with the regular season structure, but that seemed like what it was, is that everybody played each other once in that round robin, and they did games of 2. So it was if each team won one game, they'd each get 1 point, and if one team won both games, they would get 3 points. So domination.
Domination.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe that it was seeded based on those points at the end for the top 8 in each division. So both of these teams are pretty impressive. I know that Reborn Knights Black had scheduled in, I think, 3 matches in one night and dominated all 3. So they had a pretty darn good night right before the playoffs. It was in the last week before playoffs were being seeded. So yeah, they had a lot of momentum coming into this one. For sure.
Yeah, I've had, like I said, I just started hanging out in the NGS Discord. I have to say that the community is much more alive and much more active than the Chair League community is. I'm in both Discords, and I know that there's a lot more activity right now on NGS. And like I said, they're very welcoming. If you are watching today and you like playing Heroes of the Storm, I suggest heading over to the Nexus Gaming Series Discord. There's a spot where you can look for teams. You can create your own team. But I've always said playing with 5 or with 4 other friends in a competitive environment is how Heroes of the Storm is meant to be played. Hero League is a very poor substitute, and for competitively, that's what most people play. And it's a very poor substitute to what the game can be and what the game can be like if you're playing with your buddies on comms in a competitive setting. I'll get off my soapbox now.
Soapbox completed. All right, so it looks like we do have a decision for the next game map by Durotan's Couch. It's going to be Dragonshire.
I was hoping for Hanamura.
I don't think that one's legal.
No, Dragonshire is great. It's actually kind of almost a combination between the 2 maps that we've been playing in the previous 2 matches. It is a 3-lane map similar to Tomb of the Spider Queen, but it's also a point control map similar to Brax's Holdout, where you have to control 3 separate locations because you have the points on the top and the bottom, and of course if you control both of them, then you can take control of the Dragon Knight in order to do your siege damage. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they pick, and I wonder if we'll get some respect bans, because I don't. Dragonshire also typically goes late, similar to Tomb of the Spider Queen. So I wonder if Nazebo will either get a respect ban or if it'll even get picked up this game.
So Taki Nami has requested the Abathur hat, so I'll go ahead and do that for the rest of the interim here. It's all good. It's kind of chilly in my place right now, so the Abathur hat keeps me nice and warm.
Jason is way too easy. You gotta hold out for a donation at least, Jason. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You're making the streamers
too. Oh. All right.
I mean, how about some biddies? Like 10 cents, man. 10 bits.
Well, the cat is also here, so we got all kinds of stuff joining us while these teams hop on in to the lobby. It looks like everybody's here. All right, Reborn Knights Black is ready. And Durotan's couch is ready. So let's get this going into game number 3, Dragonshire, as we are all tied up in this best of 3 series for Reborn Knights Black versus Durotan's couch. Let's get into it. The first band, first pick, going over to RK Black, and they're going to go straight to the Zagara. That's not a ban that you often see at the beginning, but apparently RKB knows something that we don't, partner.
And the Garage, man, they're going fast. Just from my knowledge, are they on the same sides again?
They are indeed on the same sides.
Okay, all right. So Zagara is actually a very solid band because with Dragonshire, you really do need to have a solid solo laner. Because usually what you'll do is you'll have a solid solo laner, and if they can control top, then you guys can have a 4-man on the bottom to try to push for siege damage. And then once you're able to take control of either one of the lanes, then you're able to essentially prevent the other team from getting a Dragon Knight, and then you're 1 kill or 1 pick away from getting the Dragon Knight yourself. And Zagara right now just really doesn't have many counters in lane.
So right away, going back to the well here is Durotan's couch with that Rhaegar. They've been playing it all series, and definitely been working out for them in general. The Greymane coming out here also. So they're going to go ahead and steal away Crafty Devil's solo laner and grab the Greymane. Meanwhile, on the other side, Tracer Tassadar being broken out here by Reborn Knights Black, and they'll pick up the Malthael for that solo lane.
All right, so if I'm Durotan's couch, I'm probably looking to ban out a healer to go with Tassadar. Trying to think of who I would ban out. Stuko? Someone with sustain because he already picked up Rhaegar. But yeah, I mean, obviously you're going double support with the Tassadar, so I would probably try to limit their pool for what's going to be helping out on the 4-man. Tassadar also doesn't do too bad with his wave clear, so it can help with that bottom. Mid to bottom rotation. There's an Uther ban.
Yeah, it could definitely. There could definitely be a few different things. We do see RKB play some Uther. That's for sure. The D shield can be really good on Malthael. Plus the Q probably heals about 70% of Tracer's health, so that can be helpful. But Greymane is not a bad counter to the Tracer in general. Being able to dive in, get a lot of burst damage on the Tracer, that's kind of how you deal with her. But the Varian Band's going to come out. Probably the number 1 counter to the Tracer is that Taunt Varian. So they'll go ahead and take that one off the board right away here.
And so I wouldn't mind an ETC again to get the global now instead of the Mosh Pit, because on Dragonshire globals they tend to be prioritized. I wouldn't mind seeing, like I said, an ETC with Stage Dive. I wouldn't mind seeing a Falstad here for a little extra damage, or maybe even a Dahaka. If they do Dahaka for the solo lane, and then maybe pick up their main tank here. There's all sorts of options that are open right now. Maybe an Arthas might not be a bad bruiser or tank to pick up, because he can also be a counter to Tracer by rooting her into place so you can blow her up.
Yeah, if I'm Durotan's couch right now, I'm going for the Brightwing. I like the polymorph. against Tracer. ETC with the slide to follow it up can be really good, but they're going to go to the Cassia. So we saw Reborn Knights Black ban this out last game, so they'll go ahead and get rid of the Cassia once again. And ETC also, like you said, for that point and click slide stun.
Checking on chat here. Nice hat. Yes, A++. Put a shoe on the head. No, I don't think we're going to do that. Let the cat do the casting. You know, the cat might be a significant upgrade for the co-caster.
She's a little bit quiet, but I guess so are you. So, oh my gosh. So we'll see the Johanna come out with the Lily. So as soon as that Cassie comes out, man, boom, the blinds are on here in full, and it's almost like Reborn Knights Black had a plan, just in case Cassia was on the other side. But we've seen the rework to Lily, so we're going to see that in effect for the first time here. And Johanna also got a recent rework, which makes her a little bit less tanky, but a lot more well-rounded overall, I believe.
Yes, and JoJo is my bae when it comes to tanking. And yeah, she did lose a significant amount of her tankiness by losing out on her level 1 talent, the Globe Quest. But yeah, there's that Brightwing for a pseudo global, because Brightwing, obviously, they already have to be in lane in order for her to go in there. But she's great for split soaking. She's great for side soaking. And on a map like Dragonshire, that's very important.
Yeah, the globals are definitely a premium here. They could end up with double global here. No global potential for the side of Reborn Knights Black, so they're going to be a little bit stunted in the rotation game. They're going to have to rotate the old-fashioned way. And so a little bit of an advantage right off the bat, I think, for the comps here from Durotan's couch. But I think it's really going to come down a lot more to execution in this one. Who can use the abilities in the right place at the right time? Who can coordinate the CC chains and get the damage on the right targets to be able to blow up these carries. Influential on both sides, the Greymane and the Malthael for that melee dive-in potential. Tracer and Cassia for the backline carry. This should be one heck of a Game 3 here for the NGS semifinal for C Division.
I agree, and I'm going to apologize because I'm just going to double-click on Lily and follow her around. I love me some Lily. And with these new changes, she's really good with sustain. I'll be interested to see what she takes at level 1. I'm going to check that now. Tell me.
Following around a young female panda child. That's not creepy at all. Anyway, on the left, we've got Reborn Knights Black, Subway Slayer, going to be on the Tassadar, Mr. Conductor on the Johanna, the Pie Maker, going to be coming out on Tracer, Crafty Devil on the Malthael, and who did I miss? I missed Z-Doc on the Lily. How could I miss her?
All right, for Durotan's couch on the Rhaegar, we have Captain Wedge. Brightwing, we have Song. ETC, once again, is Big Egg Roll. Greymane is A-Fish, and Cassia is Wild Card.
Right away, both teams going to come to the mid, get a little bit of their poke game out, and then go ahead and disengage. We will see Malthael rotating up to the top for that solo lane. Would expect to see it is going to be Brightwing going up, actually. I kind of didn't know who I expected. I guess Greymane, but there are a lot of options for the side of Durotan's couch for that solo lane.
Yeah. And by putting Brightwing at the top, it also with the global gives them the option to hard engage at any point if they're having a big fight down on the bottom. So anytime it's a 4-on-3 or 4-on-4, it can instantly become a numbers advantage in favor of Durotan's couch.
Right away, we do see the rotation down from Reborn Knights Black. They're able to get a nice push in, drain a little bit of the ammo here, but they will have to back up. The counter damage comes out onto the Pie Maker. He's going to be knocked down, and it's going to take a little while for this double support to bring him back up. But now the rotation back to the mid. A little bit of an advantage in the top lane for Reborn Knights Black. Malthael will trade well into Brightwing, but Brightwing will be able to hold her own in the lane, but not be able to pressure onto the point at all.
Yeah, so Durotan's couch is going to have to get control of the bottom lane because while Brightwing will do an excellent job soaking it and probably won't lose the lane too hard, she is not going to be able to wrest control of that shrine from Malthael. So if at any time they lose the bottom, Brightwing's not going to be able to answer back on top.
Speaking of losing the bottom, there it is. Reborn Knights Black will go ahead and capture the bot. Johanna actually free to get it in the mid. Mr. Conductor will start the cast, but just barely Afish gets in with that cocktail. And Rhaegar falling in the bottom lane as well.
Oh, look at that, sneaking in. She really is crafty. Of course, this is a 2-minute and 30-second Dragon Knight. I would not expect them to get too much value out of this. If they can get the front wall in the mid, that should be plenty of value out of this Dragon Knight. But it is interesting to note that the team without the globals was able to out-rotate and get an early Dragon Knight.
Yeah, right now Reborn Knights Black winning on the rotation game, but we've seen in all 3 of these games that Reborn Knights Black has a pretty strong early game. They've done a nice job of getting a lead and getting the early advantage. Big Egg Roll getting very low, but the Pulse Bomb actually missing there from the Pie Maker, and Crafty Devil going to help Big Egg Roll get out there with that kick, and he'll be able to go ahead and be safely from behind his own towers.
For a 2-minute, 30-minute Dragon Knight, that is about all you can expect. He got out the front wall and, importantly, the well as well. I'd like to say I did that on purpose, but I really didn't.
Poet and didn't even try. But we will see both teams rotating out to start to grab some camps. Very eventful first 3 minutes on Dragonshire, which is kind of a rarity, but to see it from time to time. A little bit of damage in both of the other lanes as well. So right now, Reborn Knights Black reaping the benefits of that early game advantage. Got a little bit of an XP lead as well, but not really anything that you'd write home about. So
yeah, the XP lead is 100% attributable to that front wall that went down. Both sides have done a good job soaking all the lanes, and I believe the kills. Who does have one more kill? But they rotated heavy down to the bottom, even bringing down the Brightwing. They were able to chase them out, but it does not look like they were able to get any kills. Which, when you commit hard like that with the global and the possibility of losing soak, that's not the outcome you're really looking for.
Yeah, the 4-man rotate now as they start to resume this. We will see Brightwing going back to the top just in time for Crafty Devil and this camp go on into the top. They're going to get some. They're definitely going to get some good siege damage off of this. Meanwhile, both teams settling back into these mid-bot rotations. About a half-level lead here so far for Reborn Knights Black.
Looks like they're coming for him. Looks like they did notate them in comms and say, "Yo, watch your back." But looks like they are just coming up to clear this wave.
Yeah, very nice rotation coming out right now from Reborn Knights Black. They're playing safe, they're playing smart, and but both sides are definitely rotating around and giving it their best shot here. Neither team making any large errors, save that Dragon Knight capture at the 3-minute mark.
I'm actually a little surprised. They were already up on the top lane. I don't know why they didn't just stay there for the extra 6 seconds and cap it before they went to the rotation mid.
Well, either way, Crafty Devil will rotate in and yet again get that advantage here onto Solm in the top. It's going to continue to be an advantage for RKB, but later game here at Dragonshire, we see this eventually, this rotation 1-4 game start to break down, but level 10s are here for Reborn Knights Black. It doesn't look like they're going to try too hard to get anything done with this right out the gate, though.
Nope, and it doesn't look like they're going to have the level 10 advantage for very long. And they should have the... Ooh, Rhaegar getting some damage done in on it. Oh, Rhaegar went down. Brightwing did try to come in and protect him, but was not able to. They do have their 10s now. Brightwing is going to rotate up, and there's the Dragon Knight. Couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, Crafty Devil with a nice rotation down to be able to take out Rhaegar. We'll be able to cap that after the rotation to the mid to try and help out with that. We'll pull enough away from the bottom that Reborn Knights Black was able to recap the bot, and now they will go ahead and push into the bot. The bot lane, definitely the lane of priority here on Dragonshire. I mean, I've complained about it on the Blizzard forums that there are 3 camps that go into the bottom lane and none that go into the mid, but you know, hey, that's how it goes sometimes, and right now they are working on that lane and softening it up for later for these camps to be able to push in. Meanwhile, Crafty Devil coming out in a little bit of trouble, actually. Not in a very good spot as he came out of that Dragon Knight. Will pop the Tormented Souls and is trying to get the sustain.
Almost got the shield, yeah.
Yeah, well, just barely missed, but Brightwing in return with that parting gift from the Pie Maker in that Pulse Bomb will also go down. So 1-for-1 trade here as both teams are going to have to reset out of the bottom lane, and pretty even so far. Overall, a couple of Dragon Knights has led to a little bit of siege damage for Reborn Knights Black, but this is still definitely anybody's game here in Game 3.
And I'm 100% sure that Big Egro was trolling us because he went Mosh Pit on his ETC.
Hashtag troll. But
looking at the other, I mean, everything is about what you'd expect. Rayman did go through the throat, but Rhaegar's got Ancestral Healing. You have the Wind talent for Brightwing, and then Cassia's got her Ball of Death.
Tank's just kind of hanging out in the mid here. Gotta love that.
Yep, he's warding, providing vision for his team.
Yes, I love it.
Or he's just sitting there.
ETC AFK.
Yeah, but Mr. Conductor is doing the exact same thing in the other bush. So you've got 2 tanks doing exactly the same thing in opposite bushes.
Meanwhile, we will see both teams starting to rotate towards the bottom. We got 3-man pickup of this camp in the bottom.
Oh, this might
but
be a
here
problem.
comes the rotation. Pie Maker getting caught out a little bit here. We'll be able to blink through, though. Polymorph will come down to interrupt the cups there from Z-Doc, and the Emerald Wind going to be able to get Soln and the rest of the team out of there. But advantage to Reborn Knights Black with that split push in the top, and they're going to be able to cap that top one for now, while the camp getting a little bit of damage done there.
Like they're getting pushed off 4 versus 5 on the bottom, too. Brightwing just died. That was a nice full spawn by the Tracer.
Pie Maker coming out, making plays on this one. I know he...
Rhaegar needs to get on the point or they're going to get another Dragon Knight. Oh, there's
that Mosh Pit coming out. They'll be able to get the pick onto Z-Doc.
They were able to get the kill, but they were able to get the Dragon Knight. So that seems like a pretty fair trade. We'll see whether or not that death on Lily will limit the amount of advantage they get to push, because Brightwing's going to be up now, and with her global, she can be with the team at any time.
Yeah, I don't know about that trade. Small Panda for large Dragon Knight. I don't know. It's kind of iffy.
It does look like they might be not getting any value out of this Dragon Knight because of that death. So it looks like Lily's back up again, so they might start pushing in for some siege damage, probably on middle. But otherwise, this is... I mean, other than denying it to Durotan's couch, they're not going to get any value on it.
I kind of like this call, actually. They're going to go ahead and wait until they have everybody involved. They still have 18 seconds and half the health on this Dragon Knight, so they know that they can make a forceful push into the bottom. They didn't want to waste the health of the Dragon Knight when they didn't have their whole team available, so they will go ahead and push in here. Brightwing is in the top, but can phase shift down whenever needed to be able to put the pressure on, and that Dragon Knight will go down along with the bottom fort. And we'll reset, and yet again, a little bit of an advantage in the siege department here.
Aggressive steal.
Yeah, they're going to engage here.
Now. There's the Brightwing. Let's see, Mosh Pit is down.
Will be a successful steal, and for now, Durotan's couch will back on out of that. A lot of ults popped there for the side of Reborn Knights Black, but we also saw a lot of the ults popped from Durotan's couch in the meantime. But without Mosh, I feel like that wasn't really an engagement the Durotan's Couch would win. They wisely back up. They give up the camp. They can clean that out easily. And now that they got Mosh, now they'll think about re-engaging on the other side.
Yep, and the only long timer that they lost in that was the Ancestral. Looks like they're returning the favor and stealing. Oh, they just canceled that. Sorry.
Now they'll go ahead and take it out as soon as it's captured. The slide was just a little bit too late, but either way, both teams marching in towards 16. And again, I still think this is definitely anybody's game, but you got to give a small advantage out to Reborn Knights Black because of the structure damage. They've opened up a little bit more of the map towards those win conditions for later in the game.
I mean, they're still very close on experience. Like they both hit 16 within 2 seconds of each other. So it is really anyone's game. I keep wanting them to take more advantage of the global. Oh, they didn't take the global on ETC, so that's why they can take advantage of that.
Now they are taking advantage of the Brightwing Global, but on the other hand, right now, Malthael dealing a ton of damage again. As the rotation starts to come upward, we'll back out. We'll leave Brightwing alone to try and clear that. Meanwhile, in the mid right now, Reborn Knights sharking around here, trying to find anybody caught out, but everybody making pretty smart rotations here in this game 3. Nobody wants to be that guy that got caught out in the last game. Speaking of which, Subway Slayer.
Dang. Man, that was a great rotation on them. I mean, they're just getting... I don't know how...
One Dragon Knight after another. Reborn Knights Black able to pick up their 3rd Dragon Knight of the game. 4th? 4th. That's right. It is their 4th Dragon Knight of the game.
Usually you don't do that, but in most games you don't get a Dragon Knight at 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's true. That's true. They've gotten it on most of the cooldown procs, but for right now we do see the ball lightning coming out here, getting a little bit of damage done. Both teams poking back and forth. The kick going to come out onto Big Egg Roll. You can see he's kind of sharking around for that mosh pit a little bit. All the ults are still up other than that ball lightning. Maybe popped a little bit early here, but got some nice damage out on Mr. Conductor and that Dragon Knight.
Brightwing came the hard way. She looks like she hearthed back and didn't use her global, so that is still available to her.
Yeah, so they get some nice damage out, but we'll eventually back out and look to take advantage later. They do get a little bit of damage off that front wall of the keep in bottom. Yet again, just getting closer and closer, but eventually Durotan's Couch is going to start to run out of room that they can give here. They're going to have to press forward and try and get some sort of advantage on this map. Right now they're kind of losing this war of attrition.
Yeah, I mean, at some point they're going to have to contest for the objective.
They do steal both of these camps, both of these siege camps. The bottom camp picked up here for Reborn Knights Black, so they'll have the Knights marching in while side of Durotan's Couch clean up here in the bottom lane. Get the feeling that eventually this is going to come down to one or two big team fights.
Make an aggressive move up there to the camp up here. They don't have. Looks like the whole team's starting to come in. Looks like we're gonna have a fight over a camp, boys. Looks like they made the successful steal. They're gonna get the mosh pit there.
The slide will come in, but the mosh pit not quite in position yet, and we will see Z-Doc blowing that jugs to be able to keep everybody sustained as they back out. They do steal the camp, but again, the side of Durotan's Couch playing pretty passive. They're going to step back, and they're going to wait for their opportunity a little bit later, not wanting to force on the camp, but instead going to just be satisfied that they're getting a ton of damage onto this bottom fort from the split push of the Siege Giants. And we'll see another Shrines phase activating here really soon. I think this is the opportunity that Durotan's Couch has to go for.
Yes. They need to pick a point, and they need to own it. Because they're simply getting out-rotated. So they need to start the phase by picking one of the points and fighting over it.
And slaughter your enemies.
Yeah, I do like their team fight potential, especially with the Brightwing. But here they come. They're able to get a nice Emerald win to split up the members,
Nice.
and
There you go.
Tracer
They got
gets
the
completely blown up. And we do see the damage coming out from Crafty Devil and that Tormented Souls, but it has now expired. And so many members low here. The Mosh Pit will come out. Huge Ancestral coming out onto Big Egg Roll. Malthael will be the second to fall. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-for-0 exchange. Durotan's Couch taking a fight and taking it big time here.
There you go. But even with all of that, because Brightwing didn't cap the top before she came down, they don't have an opportunity to get a Dragon Knight.
Well, we still got about 30 seconds on the Malthael, 15 on the Tracer. So there is definitely the opportunity. They will clean up this bottom fort. The Brightwing will rotate to top and should, with that level 1 talent, should have the TP back down to the mid if they need it. Owlfish will start to cast this, and I do believe this will be the first Dragon Knight capture going over to the side of Durotan's Couch. And it couldn't be a better time for it. Level 20 is here. This will be the strongest Dragon Knight of the game. And now with the full duration and all 5 of their team members up, they're going to be marching towards the bottom, looking to get some advantage off of it.
And Brightwing smartly is soaking the top lane, got them to 20. Reborn Knights is in a scary position because they're still a full half level away from getting theirs.
Yeah, they position aggressively. They rotate in. Crafty Devil getting poked down very low. But we do see Malthael is the first to fall. The stun damage coming out onto Tracer from the slide will be taken down as well. They get in position. They force the fight. But without level 20, that is going to end up being a 3-for-0 exchange. And Durotan's Couch is marching towards the mid. They are looking to end the game right here. The damage coming down onto Johanna. Still doesn't have level 20 for that extra shield damage, but they are going to ignore Johanna and turn around on the core 30 seconds before the team members are up here for Reborn Knights Black, and that is going to be it. Durotan's Couch making a huge comeback here in Game 3. They will win the series and go on to the Division 2 Finals, or Division C Finals here, I should say.
Well played, guys. That's what they needed to do. They were on their back foot for the whole game. They were finally able to force a team fight, and that got them the Dragon Knight. And then the Black Knights were Reborn Knights. Sorry, they felt like they had to take the fight in that defense. They positioned themselves a little aggressively, and the Brightwing coming in and just separating that team out just made them easy pickings for Durotan's Couch. And then obviously it was the march straight to core.
Yeah, it was a very patient game for Durotan's Couch. We saw them just waiting for their opportunity. And once they saw it, they did definitely take it. I got to give them a lot of credit where, in both of those games, they had, these sort of late game style comps where you do want to see it scale a little bit before you really go in hard against the higher mobility heroes. And they took advantage in the end as soon as they had that Dragon Knight. And you gotta give a little bit of constructive criticism here for Reborn Knights Black. They didn't have that 20. They maybe would have given up a keep, but maybe could have continued to stay in the game. But forcing that pre-20 fight where Durotan's Couch was able to really take full advantage and get those big kills, that led to the end of the game. That's what really finished it off before they could even get 20 and try to mount that defense. If they had had 20, it would have, I think either way would have been really tough, but I like the odds of them surviving to live another day if they do just go out to lanes, get the 20, and try to make that a 20-for-20 fight on the core.
Yeah, chat just caught up with the 2-minute delay.
Well, yeah, right now the stream is just now doing the end. So yeah, there is the finish. Yeah. So
it was very nice.
Yeah, what a lot of people would call an upset. A lot of people I think thought that Reborn Knights Black was going to be able to take this series, but you got to give all the credit in the world to Durotan's Couch for coming out, making some really big plays, and being able to pull it off here in games number 2 and 3. but definitely an amazing series by both of these teams. They both made it to the top 4, and Reborn Knights Black definitely doesn't have anything to be ashamed about. They performed great this season, and we'll be looking forward to seeing what they can do in the next season of NGS.
Agreed. Good game, guys. Good game.
All right, well, that is going to do it for me tonight, guys. Thank you very much, Dorshi, for coming out and having some fun with us and casting tonight. Feel free to come back anytime, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Oh, good. Thank you. Like I said, this is my first one, so as long as I didn't embarrass myself too badly, I'll take that as a win.
Yeah, for sure. I think you did a really great job. I think it was definitely a fun series. Again, I want to thank both of these teams for coming out late into the night and playing. It was a really, really fun series to cast. I'll be looking forward to seeing Durotan's Couch in those finals to going against All for Waifu. And that's going to do it for me tonight, guys. As always, you can find all of the matches that I cast on my YouTube channel. So feel free to hop on over there and check those out as well. And until next time, guys, this is the Nexus Gaming Series. For Dorshi and Jason, I am signing off. Have a good night.
Are we off the air?